Everyone. So, thank you so much for joining us today. Today, we're going to be talking about a really popular portable pump. So, yesterday we were talking about the Willow 3.0 and 360, which is a wearable pump, which we tend to mean fully self contained in the bra. When we're talking about portables, what we're talking about is pump motors that have been designed to be very, very small. So, this is what a heavy duty breast pump looks like. This is the Spectra S1. You can see this can do most of what this can do, except it is much, much smaller. This you can actually just stick in a pocket. It does come with a belt clip, but this is the Elvie Stride. Elvie Stride is extremely popular because it is actually what we would almost consider a hybrid. So this motor comes paired with these cups. These are 5-ounce wearable cups. They're intended to go into the bra. So it's going to have that same self-contained discrete pumping experience, but it's paired with a portable motor. So there is tubing. I absolutely adore this pump. It is extremely small, extremely powerful, but it's also gentle at the same time, and it's quiet. So let me actually see if I can get this to turn on so you can hear it. I don't even know that you'll be able to accurately hear it. So let me put this up to the microphone so you can see by the lights that it's on. That is how quiet it is. When you have this on your physical body, you are not really going to be able to hear it. If you are pairing it with a fanny pack or in a pocket, like on the scrub pockets, you're really not going to be able to hear it, which makes this a really versatile pump. So a lot of wearables are going to be at the higher price range, so in the $350 to $500 price range. This is going to be a lot cheaper. Right now, this is retailing for about $220 on average, and a lot of insurance companies will cover this. There are 2 different versions of this pump out there on the market. There's Elvie Stride and Elvie Stride Plus. It is a marketing term. They are the exact same motor, the exact same cups. Elvie Stride Plus just comes with its own little storage bag setup, and it comes, I think, with an extra set of flanges and at one point a lanyard. I don't know if they're still having the lanyard. The lanyard just tucked into this. It's not anything that I would necessarily think is enough value to justify the extra expense, but the bag is pretty nice. So for moms who don't already have a pump bag and really just want an all-in-one design for their setup, it can be a great option. It's still fairly affordable. So let's talk about these cups because these are really what people love. So let me go ahead. I'm going to pull this tubing off this cup so I can take this one apart. So this cup is unique in that it is extremely leak free. Up here is a tiny little air hole, and that is the only source of air exchange for these cups. They are pressed together on a seal. You can see they actually get pretty good suction. You've got a diaphragm in here that will need to be replaced about every 90 days. This is going to need to be replaced a lot sooner. Typically, they last about 3 to 4 weeks. This is a more expensive pump to operate, so I am going to link the wearable pump calculator down below because I do think before you get these cups, the price point of the original purchase and the ongoing cost, especially if you're somebody who is not open to hand washing or things like that, you can very quickly rack up some expenses with these cups. Some insurance companies are actually providing the cups as replacement parts. Some insurance companies are not. A big one is TRICARE. TRICARE is not covering these parts to date. From what I am understanding from the DME companies, these claims keep getting kicked back. So you've just got that. This seal right here is something I want to call out. So this seal does occasionally need to be taken off to clean underneath of it. It is fairly tight, but milk can get underneath of it and grow milk. And they don't sell this seal separately, which is not very good because this seal will fail before the actual plastic of the cup will fail, but you will have to replace the plastic of the cup in order to get a new seal. So everything just gets pushed together. And the reason I'm showing you this is that this is also going to be one of the weaknesses of this pump. So you can see everything just got assembled and disassembled. You can hear that nice air hiss. There is a pour spout, so if this peels back, this is a pour spout, so you can actually pour your milk, which is really handy. These are really popular for fridge hacking, but everything on this pump is just kind of held together by pressure. It's not like a hard plastic cup. Like this is a Freemie Slim cup where there is plastic that's actually snapping together, which is creating a different type of seal. So when this goes together, you can actually assure that it is connect it. Let me snap this in place. You actually hear that snap. On this, it can be pretty easy to not assemble correctly. And the dangerous part of that is if this is not assembled correctly or this gets warped, this membrane is the part that is keeping the milk out of your pump. So this cap here is what's going to actually be applied here and the tubing, which means if milk can get onto this side of the diaphragm, which does happen, milk can get through this air hole into your tubing, into your motor. Now, if you're using that with the Elvie Stride motor and it gets milk in the tubing, Elvie has just been replacing it. Elvie does have fantastic customer service. It's actually the only company I know of that it's 24/7 phone coverage. I've had the Elvie products for several years. I've inevitably had to call them at different times, and I am always blown away by their customer service. But the cup can definitely, that can cause a little bit of frustration. They're very easy to damage. My recommendation with these is to hand wash them, especially since these green silicone parts, and several pump companies use it. This green silicone likes to hold milk fat. It is really, really sticky substance, and it likes to get in all the grooves on that silicone and really hold on tight. So you do have to have a good wash routine. Otherwise, you can actually have milk residue create that avenue for milk to get to your pump motor. These cups are also extremely versatile in that we can hook them up to a lot of different pumps and vice versa because of the fairly universal attachment of the cups. Here's that tubing that I just pulled off. You can actually hook up traditional flanges to your Elvie Stride. So this is just a Spectra style long stem backflow protector hooked up to a Medela bottle. It's just a generic setup. But now if you are somebody who has the Elvie Stride motor, but the cups are not working for you, or you need to try a different setup, we can actually pair it with this. So that makes this motor extremely versatile. And in this case, not only are the cups really high quality and pair well with other pumps, the motor is a decent motor and easily pairs with other flanges. So if you get this pump and you decide, hey, I don't love the Elvie Stride cups, I don't like the price of keeping them, I don't feel like they're really doing anything for me, or if you're one of those moms, these only hold 5 ounces. So if you need something closer to an 8-ounce cup, no big deal. We can hook it up to other cups as well. So let me pull this tubing again and show you. It's just that simple. We like to hook these up. It pairs really well with the Baby Buddha cups, really well with the Spectra Cara cups. It does pretty well with the Freemie Slim cups. There are lots of options out there. It also pairs really well with the Medela cups. I love pairing the Elvie Stride motor and the Medela cups because it actually elevates the suction on the Elvie Stride. So for some people, they need a combination of higher suction and higher speed. This motor can definitely do the higher speeds, but the higher suction, it tends to be lower suction, higher speed, which is fine for most people. But if you're one of those moms who really needs that higher suction, higher speeds, this motor allows you to pump portably when we pair it with something that elevates the suction, like the Medela parts. With the Elvie Stride cups, it's going to be mid-range suction. That's going to be, adequate for most people. We don't see a lot of failure with this. The big things in the early days where we didn't have a lot of great inserts for this pump. So there for a while, we really didn't have everything that we needed to make it successful. Now that Elvie has their own inserts, a lot more people are having success with the cups because the Elvie cushions really do make for a great pumping experience. If you need that, they do come in a 28, a 24, and a 21 flange, and then we have 19, 17, and 15 millimeter inserts. So that's going to cover the vast majority of needs. This is a standard suction pump, so most people need standard suction sizing, and I will link the flange sizing link below to talk more about that, but it's going to be very similar to your standard sizing with your Medela pump or with your Spectra pump. The big thing with this though is that we do have some people who are able to use one of those heavier duty tabletop pumps, for essentially no better way to describe it, with exact sizing. So if their nipple measures 14, they can use a 14 millimeter flange. But with the Elvie Stride, because it is a smaller, less powerful motor, what we find is that your nipple can actually act like a cork. So we see more issues in terms of the flange sizing being too small and needing to size up 1 to 2 millimeters to allow space around the nipple for adequate movement than we see with issues with the flange being too big. In terms of a flange, like if you somebody that needs a bigger gap because maybe there's a flat or inverted nipple, this is one of our common recommendations because the suction is so gentle that it gives us the opportunity to size up to protect the health of the tissue while not exposing the tissue to any other damage. So all around, this is a solid option. It's extremely versatile, very easy to work with. It is a smart pump, so it does connect to the app and you can control it from the app. You can also control it. It just has those little lights. So these lights just light up to tell you how many, what setting you're on. It has stimulation mode, it has expression mode. It's extremely easy to learn to operate. Even my overwhelmed first time moms can easily learn this pump with about 45 minutes to an hour of reading the manual and watching a few videos, and then they are off and pumping effectively with it. So from that perspective, it's kind of an all-around win for my moms who really want that portable motor and are wanting to have a wearable option but aren't ready to commit to the limitations of a full-blown self-contained wearable. This is a really good option to consider. So I'm going to go ahead now and I am going to open up for questions. And then after people who are attending live have had a chance to ask their questions, I'll go over a couple questions that some of my clients sent in who were unable to be here today. Do we have any questions about this pump? Okay, so I'm going to go over the questions that my clients sent in. The first one was, does this pump have vibration? Yes and no. The pump motor itself does vibrate. At the point of the cups where it's attached to the breast, no, there's minimal to no vibration, which can be good for people who don't like the vibration. But then at the same time, my moms who really like that vibration have actually hacked this to be able to slip it into their bra, and it provides the same type of stimulation that a lactation massager would, but it's all self-contained in your pump, so it's one less thing you have to think about and charge. In terms of charging was another question I got. So this is just a standard USB-C attachment, so it's very easy to charge on the go. It's not using any type of proprietary specialty charger. We do want to be careful that when we're charging these motors that we're not leaving it on the charger excessively long. You only want to leave it on the charger long enough for the battery to charge. Once it's done charging, go ahead and take it off, because all of these small motors are going to be vulnerable to overcharging and overheating, and we have had some instances where these get plugged in for a long period of time to a high-speed cable, and we've had a couple burning incidents. So those are definitely not things that we want to do. It's been fairly localized and pretty easy to identify what happened, but it is very easy to charge these on the go, which I love. You can just plug it into a battery pack so that if you're going to be gone all day, your pump motor may not last the full day, but you can recharge it so you can get a full day's worth of pumping with it. Okay, what options work to increase suction? So the big ones that work to increase suction are going to be the Baby Buddha cups, the Medela cups, and then the Medela Personal Flex Fit flanges. Those are my three go-tos when we need to elevate the suction. The Spectra backflow protectors and the Spectra cups get slightly higher than the Elvie Stride cups, but not a whole lot. I wouldn't say it's an appreciable amount, but it is enough to help with that working. And then, can you use generic parts with this? Yes, you can. So you can definitely use generic duckbills. So that is something that you can do to help decrease your costs, is do some generic duckbills. We have a couple different options for that have been working really well for years. When this first came out, we had a lot of issues with supply chain shortages, so we didn't have them. We did find that, let me pull this out so you can see it. The duckbill that this comes with sits internally. So you've got your connector there, and this duckbill is actually sitting inside of that tunnel. There for a while, we had to use duckbills that sat on the outside that were actually designed for the Freemie cups. They worked well enough, but they weren't a great fit. They were just a solution to a problem. On an ongoing basis, I would use the Maymom or the Nini Supply version that are designed for this pump specifically, or I would just get the regular Elvie Stride parts. I do feel like the Elvie Stride parts, while they are a little bit more expensive, are definitely worth the money. And what I love is that if something happens in that first 90 days of having the part, Elvie does replace them without a whole lot of argument, which is really nice. So if you have an issue with it, it's easy to get replacement parts. There is a generic, it's pink, it's by a company called Yeah Better. It is a generic Diaphragm, I have mixed thoughts on that one. When I'm testing it and I'm putting it on the pressure meter, some of them are getting really good suction, others are not. And I do see an increased incidence of leaking because the diaphragm is not quite as flexible. So, especially if we're pairing it with a stronger motor, then we can end up with the cup having more issues with leaking. Um, which pump motor is most popular if we have to replace the pump motor to get something stronger with these cups? I have a lot of moms who start with this. If they decide that they're in that, top 25% of suction needs, this may not do the trick, but it is actually super easy to switch them over to the Baby Buddha, which pairs beautifully with these cups. And that is a powerhouse dynamite kind of option. You get much higher suction with the Elvie Stride cups with the Baby Buddha motor. And my moms who are not loving the Elvie Stride experience love the cups paired with the Baby Buddha motor. So again, no pump is going to work out for everybody, but a lot of pumps, if it doesn't work out for you, there's not really anything that you can like keep from it. The set was kind of designed to work together, and without it, it's just not a good experience. So it leaves moms with a bitter taste in their mouth. With this one, we have the ability to decide whether it's the motor or the cups that are not working and to change that up at a like semi-reasonable expense. So that does make this an incredibly versatile option to consider for moms who really want that smart pump wearable, but they want that hybrid experience where we can modify it as needed. So that is all the questions I had from my clients. Does anybody who's on the line today have any questions? Okay, it does not look like anybody that's on the line today had any questions. So we will go ahead and wrap this up so you can get back to taking care of your babies and doing all the things that busy moms are doing. I'll really appreciate you being here. I hope this helps moms as they're making their decisions about this pump. Like I said, this is one of my favorites, and it's been a favorite for a long time for good reason. It's a very versatile pump, and if this is something that you think could be a good fit for you, definitely just let us know if you have any questions so we can make sure that you get a pump that you end up loving. We will see you guys back next week for more of these pump chats to talk about the different wearables and portables on the market to help you make the best decision you can make for yourself. Have a great day.